What's up, this is Squad 24 for a following Signature 17 video. Today we'll be building an RV port here on the mowing map. We'll be using the John Deere Skidsteer and the compact tractor. We'll use the Ford F250 Super Duty with a brand new utility trailer to transport it over to the job site. And over at the job site, we do have a compact tractor, a second-gen dump truck full of gravel, and we also do the RV, which the customer will be parking underneath to protect it from the winter season. So we'll be starting the Ford up, we'll be backing up and attaching to this brand new utility trailer. It's a very cool trailer. I really do like it a lot. It's a little bit longer than the usual one we do use, but it's a pretty cool trailer, and overall I think that the John Deere will fit pretty good on it. So we'll be turning this on and we'll actually be backing this onto the trailer. But one of the things I did notice is that with this truck, the trailer will make the truck kind of go up in the air, so we will have to watch out for that. But I'm very excited for building an RV port here. It's going to be a pretty cool build, and it's going to be awesome. Removing the grass and spreading some gravel with both John Deere equipment. So kind of back up, that looks to be good just about there. I really do like how this kind of went on really good. And then you guys can see I backed it on because all of the weight is in the back of the skid steer. And wow, the Ford is squatting a lot, but probably when we raise up the ramps, the squat will most likely go away. As you guys can see, the truck did level out just a little bit more, so we'll be heading out from our headquarters here. And like I was saying, I'm very excited for building this and using a lot of pretty cool new mods. This is one of my favorite Super Duties because of the first person view, most detailed Ford interior I've been using. But you guys can see that John Deere looks pretty cool on the back. It isn't exactly centered, but overall this is one very nice setup. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for the continued support on the daily content. I'm very excited for all of the very cool videos coming to the channel, and we'll be featuring more and more different games on the channel pretty soon for the second video of the day. And if you do have any cool video ideas, always let me know down below in the comments. So what we will be doing today is we'll be kind of removing the grass, compacting it, spreading out the gravel, and then we'll be going into the store and buying the RV port. It's a pretty tall port to kind of take the clearance of the RV, and the customer does have the RV at the house on the side road just because their driveway is so small and they can't fit it in the garage because of how large it is. But you guys just saw we went over the overpass there for the highway, and it looks like we did have a little bit of problems there, but take a look at that, guys. We got the John Deere tractor here with the plow and cultivator. We got the RV, the second gen dump truck, one of my favorite dump trucks, and now we are arriving with the skid steer. So I think we'll kind of park as close as we can there. Really no need for us to kind of load onto that trailer today. So we'll kind of lower down the ramps and we'll kind of start to unload it. And the truck is definitely going to squat, and it's actually pulling a wheelie right now. Not too realistic. I do strive for the realism, so we'll pretty much unload this first to take that weight off, and we'll be parking this in the driveway for now. Alright, so we'll kind of first start off with the John Deere tractor with a plow, and I mean this is a pretty small plow, but it should do the job, and I mean it's going to overall work very nicely. So what we'll do is we'll kind of start by backing all the way up over here, and I think we'll probably go kind of right back to this window. We don't want to block in the window with the building, so we'll have to kind of go right up close to it, but like I was saying, without blocking it so that they can still use the window. And I don't want the entrance to be all the way to the street, so I think that's going to be good. We'll kind of continue to go back and forth, and I really do like doing these building videos. This is a combination of landscaping, which it pretty much is, while we also do one. And you guys really did like the one building a carport, which we did months ago, and you guys really do enjoy all of the cool videos, and I really do appreciate all of the support. As you guys can see, we do have a compact tractor here. We've been using a lot of taller, much larger tractors, even ones that are more expensive. So I thought we'll kind of go back to using the smaller equipment, which actually does even that much better of a job since we could get into smaller areas. And with a smaller plow, it does take a little bit more time, but we could be pretty precise and also get in areas that the larger ones can't. And if you guys would like me to feature a farming series here on the channel, let me know down below in the comments with a yes to farming. I think that that's going to be a pretty cool aspect that we could do, and we did get back into logging, which is also very interesting, and I do always enjoy cutting down trees, everything like that. So I think we'll probably do one more pass after this one, and then we'll pretty much kind of work on compacting it, and then we'll spread down the gravel. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it might just make it look even better if we just kind of go all the way to the street, and then maybe at a later time when the owner of the house has a little bit more funds, we could kind of come back and pave it. So I think that's probably what we'll do, is kind of just go all the way to the street. It's going to look a little bit better also with not having that grass area. So we'll kind of just come over here, and wow, this is going to be one very nice area for them. And they do sell RV kind of areas, kind of cover it up with even like a RV cover, if you would say, just kind of putting it over. But having this will kind of keep it out of the snow and take off the weight, and actually be a pretty cool area, and you possibly could still kind of go inside of it, which should be pretty cool, and you will not have to worry about snow freezing to the roof, anything like that. So take a look at that, guys. We built that. This actually came out very, very nice. We'll kind of disable that, and we'll kind of drop it off right over there. But this cultivator is very large, and it should overall be a pretty efficient way for us to do it. So we'll kind of back up all the way over here. You guys can see we do have one beacon light on it. It's a pretty small beacon light, but it does do the job of letting everybody know around us that we are working. Awesome, so take a look at that. We'll kind of start off going along the edge here, and then we'll kind of come back and get a little bit closer over to the house, but we will just overall have to watch out for that, making sure that we do not go too close to the house. And if you guys do have any cool games you guys would like me to feature on the channel, let me know down below in the comments. Like I was saying earlier, I'm very excited for all of the very cool games coming to the channel, and we'll be doing a lot more live streams once the holiday season comes around and everything like that. So it looks like we did kind of get caught up there on the door, and then we pretty much fixed it, which was good. And if we do need to go get more gravel, which we most likely will, we could easily go to the tree nursery, if you would say. Even I believe the area just down the street is also available for us. So kind of going over here, we'll disconnect the trailer. As you guys can see, very cool trailer. I will be featuring this in a mod review, just as overall pretty cool, and that's actually pretty interesting, having ones that cross over just like that. But we'll be hopping in the second gen Dodge, which does have the beacon lights and also hazard lights on. I really do like having them on. It's pretty realistic. So we'll kind of back up here, and I don't really want to drive all the way around the block, so it's a little bit easier to back up, and traffic is pretty slow today. We'll pretty much back up here, and I think that it should pretty much almost go like half the driveway. It's a very large RV port, but it will do the job at what we need it to do, which should be pretty helpful. And it almost looks like we will not need another truckload, which is actually pretty helpful for us. I do like bringing more and more with us, but I think that we did leave a pretty large pile over here, which isn't the best. We might have to load it back in, so I think we'll kind of park the dump truck right in front of the RV, and it looks like we do have some left in the truck, which is also pretty cool. And I decided that we'll be using the John Deere because it actually has a little bit better ground clearance than the Bobcat's T770 and the S770, just because we've been running into a lot of problems with the ground clearance on those. So I thought we'll kind of change it up, use this one. This one does a great job also. So right now we're kind of going back and forth, compacting it down, making sure that we get every section kind of all compacted. And usually you kind of put the bucket down and back drag, but if we were to do that, we would actually remove some of it, and I do not want to pick any up. We just want to compact it, so we are just using the wheels. But I think after we probably do this little section, we'll definitely have to kind of go over it. Looks like we will have to level it out, which is pretty realistic to do. But wow, one truckload did a very large area, which is pretty cool. So next up, we'll kind of come over here. There's a little pile around there, but we'll kind of come back, and I think we'll kind of get some of the pile over here. I did dump a little bit extra to kind of clean up the edges, everything like that. And also we are using the pretty cool bucket, which comes with the John Deere. It looks awesome, and it goes along also with the Bobcats, which is pretty cool. So actually, now we could actually back drag because the bucket is full, and we won't be pretty much kind of filling up. So kind of lower it down just like this. This is a pretty realistic thing to do, kind of put the bucket down and back drag. I don't know if it does really much in farming sim, but it does do a lot in real life. So next up, we'll kind of come over here, and we'll kind of unload some right over here, since we do need some. As you guys can see, it looks like we can't really unload too much, which is interesting. Wow, that's very interesting. Next up, we'll kind of come along the edge. We'll get as close as we can to the house area. Looks like there's definitely a little bit more because we did take a little bit more time to kind of unload. So we'll kind of have to come back. This is a pretty long process, making sure that it is all level, everything like that. But overall, this looks pretty cool. Next up, whoa, it took a little too much. We'll have to kind of unload it right back. But I think, oh wow, take a look at that. We are kind of scraping it up and moving it forward. So I think we'll kind of drive forward. Looks like we did a pretty good job there. And wow, this actually came out good so far. That's pretty good. And then as you guys can see, we do actually have a lot left right over here at the entrance. But this John Deere skid steer, the arms of it and the bucket does take a very long time to kind of move around, everything like that. So what we will actually do is, I will pretty much go by the port, and then we'll kind of catch you back to finish up the last few sections. So that's probably what we'll do. Alright, as you guys can see, I did place it down, and because we did do a little bit of the gravel beforehand, we did run into a little bit of a problem here, but overall you guys can see it's in place. So next up, the final step, we'll load just a little bit of this into the bucket, and we'll be backing the RV down. I mean, this is a pretty good, very large RV port, but as you guys can see, we really should have kind of placed it before we pretty much started unloading the gravel. But overall, it will pretty much work out in the end, and we'll be able to park the RV, which is the main goal of today. And like I was saying, I do actually apologize for kind of loading the gravel in here first, but because there is gravel, we are actually unable to kind of continue and kind of place it on top of some of the gravel. And I think it's also because it's actually pretty close to the house over there. But as you guys can see, we'll kind of load this on. Looks like this barely makes it into here, not the best, and it looks like we are actually unable to pretty much load into the dump truck. As you guys can see, today was very successful. We built it and we got to lay the gravel down, which was awesome. So the final step will be to hop into the RV. This is one very large one, probably one of the largest ones in the game, and we'll be backing this into it. But as you guys can see, the roof clearance looks to be on point, just a few inches probably in total of clearance, so we'll be kind of backing down. It looks like we don't have too much room to maneuver with, but take a look at that roof clearance. That looks to be good, and it should fit all the way back in there. So take a look at that, guys. The RV is now safe from the winter season and all the elements, which is pretty cool, and I believe that we could even back in just a little bit more. But as you guys can see, we did get the ground in gravel, which was perfect. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video building this RV port. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and subscribe for more.